Landlord-tenant real estate questions.
Question 1. Citizens reject a proposed law through a statewide referendum. Which principle of American government is most directly illustrated? Option A, executive privilege. Option B, federal supremacy. Option C, judicial review. Option D, popular sovereignty.
The correct answer is option B, market allocation.
Political authority ultimately originates with the people rather than with inherited rulers. Voting and other lawful forms of public decision-making allow citizens to grant, limit, or withdraw governing power. The example shows government acting under public consent while representatives remain accountable to the electorate. During review, connect the facts to the source of political legitimacy and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 2. A military officer is punished for violating a statute enacted by Congress. Which democratic principle is being enforced? Option A, majority rule. Option B, rule of law. Option C, popular sovereignty. Option D, federalism.
The correct answer is option C, confidentiality duty.
Public authority must be exercised within established legal limits, and officials remain subject to those limits. Government positions do not place a person above statutes, court orders, or lawful procedures. Applying legal standards consistently restrains arbitrary power and supports accountability. During review, connect the facts to the requirement that officials remain within established legal limits and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 3. One branch creates statutes while another carries them out and a third resolves legal disputes. Which constitutional principle is illustrated? Option A, popular sovereignty. Option B, separation of powers. Option C, selective incorporation. Option D, federalism.
The correct answer is option D, conversion.
The Constitution distributes major governmental functions among distinct institutions. Assigning different responsibilities reduces the risk that one body will control every stage of public decision-making. This structure supports limited government while allowing each branch to develop specialized roles. During review, connect the facts to the division of national functions among distinct institutions and compare it with other constitutional principles.
Stressed about your property and casualty? We can take property and casualty for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. Congress investigates the administration of a federal program. Which feature of the Constitution is demonstrated? Option A, judicial restraint. Option B, reserved powers. Option C, checks and balances. Option D, direct democracy.
The correct answer is option A, CERCLA.
Each branch receives tools that can restrain or review actions taken by another branch. These overlapping powers require cooperation and create consequences when an institution exceeds its authority. The arrangement discourages domination by a single branch while preserving the ability to govern. During review, connect the facts to the reciprocal restraints that operate among branches and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 5. A state creates traffic laws but cannot negotiate a treaty with another country. Which principle is most clearly demonstrated? Option A, separation of powers. Option B, judicial review. Option C, federalism. Option D, popular sovereignty.
The correct answer is option B, buyer's agent.
Governmental authority is divided between the national level and the states rather than concentrated in one level. The Constitution grants specific national powers while preserving substantial state responsibilities. This division allows shared governance and creates separate areas of jurisdiction. During review, connect the facts to the division of authority between national and state governments and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 6. An agency gives affected residents notice before imposing a binding penalty. Which constitutional protection is most directly involved? Option A, executive privilege. Option B, due process of law. Option C, freedom of petition. Option D, equal protection of the laws.
The correct answer is option C, underground storage tank.
Government generally must use fair and established procedures before depriving a person of life, liberty, or property. Notice and a meaningful opportunity to be heard reduce the risk of arbitrary decisions. The required process depends on the circumstances, but basic fairness remains central. During review, connect the facts to the fairness of procedures used before government imposes a deprivation and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 7. A public agency applies eligibility standards inconsistently to people in the same circumstances. Which constitutional guarantee is most relevant? Option A, Establishment Clause. Option B, Full Faith and Credit Clause. Option C, Supremacy Clause. Option D, Equal Protection Clause.
The correct answer is option D, Designated Agency.
State governments may not draw arbitrary or unjustified distinctions among people who are similarly situated. Courts examine the classification, the government's purpose, and the level of scrutiny required by the type of distinction. The guarantee promotes legal equality without promising identical outcomes in every circumstance. During review, connect the facts to the constitutional review of unequal treatment by state government and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 8. A public college recognizes a student organization that advocates an unpopular viewpoint. Which First Amendment protection is most directly involved? Option A, protection from double jeopardy. Option B, right to indictment. Option C, freedom of association. Option D, right to compensation for takings.
The correct answer is option A, offer.
People may join with others to advance shared beliefs, especially in political and expressive organizations. The protection is not absolute, but restrictions must satisfy the constitutional standards applicable to the setting. The scenario concerns the ability of individuals or institutions to communicate, worship, organize, or seek government action without improper suppression. During review, connect the facts to the protected activity involving expression, religion, association, or petitioning and compare it with other constitutional principles.
Are you looking for property and casualty actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access property and casualty study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get property and casualty answer key today.
Question 9. Investigators install a tracking device without complying with constitutional requirements. Which amendment provides the strongest constitutional basis for a challenge? Option A, 4th Amendment. Option B, 10th Amendment. Option C, 7th Amendment. Option D, 2nd Amendment.
The correct answer is option B, liquidated damages.
Government searches and seizures must be reasonable, and warrants generally require probable cause and particularity. Courts consider expectations of privacy and whether a recognized exception justified the official conduct. Evidence obtained in violation of these standards may be excluded from a criminal trial. During review, connect the facts to the reasonableness of a government search or seizure and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 10. The prosecution presents testimony but the accused is denied a meaningful chance to question the witness. Which constitutional protection is most directly implicated? Option A, protection against takings. Option B, right to confront witnesses. Option C, right to petition. Option D, presidential pardon.
The correct answer is option C, express agency.
Cross-examination helps test reliability, expose inconsistency, and allow the fact finder to assess testimony. Constitutional criminal procedure limits the government's advantage and protects the reliability of the adjudicative process. The safeguard applies according to the stage of the case and the specific conditions defined by law. During review, connect the facts to the procedural safeguard required at the relevant stage of a criminal case and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 11. A state administers elections subject to constitutional and federal limits. Which amendment most directly supports this state authority? Option A, 20-2nd Amendment. Option B, 3rd Amendment. Option C, 10th Amendment. Option D, 7th Amendment.
The correct answer is option D, fiduciary duty.
Powers not granted to the national government and not forbidden to the states remain with the states or the people. Many matters involving local health, safety, education, licensing, and property therefore fall primarily within state authority. Federal constitutional provisions and valid national laws still limit how those powers may be exercised. During review, connect the facts to the authority retained outside the national government and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 12. Which branch controls federal appropriations? Option A, state legislatures. Option B, Congress. Option C, President. Option D, a Supreme Court.
The correct answer is option A, commingling.
Public money may be drawn from the Treasury only through appropriations made by law. This assignment reflects the constitutional responsibilities of the national lawmaking process. Related powers may involve another branch, but the specific function in the question belongs to the identified legislative institution. During review, connect the facts to the specific function assigned to the national lawmaking institution and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 13. Who receives ambassadors on behalf of the United States? Option A, Chief Justice. Option B, Speaker of the House. Option C, Senate Parliamentarian. Option D, President.
The correct answer is option B, dual agent.
Recognition and formal diplomatic relations are functions associated with the chief executive's foreign-affairs role. The function belongs to the national administration rather than to the lawmaking or judicial institutions. Checks from the other branches may still limit or complete the exercise of this authority. During review, connect the facts to the duty assigned to the national administration and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 14. A court refuses to decide a political disagreement because no concrete legal injury is shown. Which constitutional function or institution is most directly involved? Option A, case minus or minus controversy requirement. Option B, necessary and proper clause. Option C, advice and consent. Option D, a commander minus in minus chief power. The correct answer is option A, case minus or minus controversy requirement. Federal judicial power is generally limited to genuine disputes involving parties with a legally recognized stake. Article 3 places federal adjudication in independent courts that act through actual legal cases. The judiciary does not initiate ordinary policy, but its rulings can limit other institutions when law or constitutional text requires it. During review, connect the facts to the court's role in resolving concrete legal disputes and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 15. A state deprives a person of liberty without fair procedures. Which constitutional clause is most directly applicable? Option A, a commander minus in minus chief clause. Option B, emoluments clause. Option C, speech or debate clause. Option D, due process clause.
The correct answer is option D, antitrust law.
Government must follow constitutionally adequate procedures before imposing serious deprivations. The provision connects constitutional structure or individual protection to a specific governmental action. Its application depends on whether the relevant level or branch of government has acted within the limits imposed by the Constitution. During review, connect the facts to the wording and application of the constitutional provision at issue and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 16. Which article set the ratification requirement for the original Constitution? Option A, Article 4. Option B, Article I. Option C, Article V. Option D, Article 7.
The correct answer is option A, novation.
The final original article made approval by conventions in 9 states sufficient for the new framework to take effect among ratifying states. The arrangement identifies where a governmental institution or constitutional procedure is located in the document. Knowing the structure helps connect specific powers and limitations to the relevant part of the constitutional framework. During review, connect the facts to the location of a power or procedure within the constitutional text and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 17. Which phrase most clearly expresses consent as the source of political legitimacy? Option A, hereditary succession. Option B, right of conquest. Option C, consent of the governed. Option D, a judicial appointment.
The correct answer is option B, quitclaim deed.
Public authority is legitimate when it rests on the agreement of the people subject to it. The founding generation used these ideas to evaluate whether British rule remained legitimate. The reasoning later influenced constitutional government and arguments for broader protection of civil rights. During review, connect the facts to the natural minus rights reasoning used to justify political independence and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 18. Each state had one vote in Congress regardless of population. Which weakness of the Articles of Confederation does this describe? Option A, proportional representation in both chambers. Option B, federal judicial districts. Option C, direct presidential election. Option D, equal state voting in the Confederation Congress. The correct answer is option D, equal state voting in the Confederation Congress. The system treated states as sovereign units rather than allocating representation by population. The arrangement protected state sovereignty but left the national government unable to solve several collective problems. Experience under the Confederation influenced the framers to create stronger institutions with enumerated powers and internal checks. During review, connect the facts to the structural weakness of the first national governing framework and compare it with other constitutional principles.
Stressed about your property and casualty? We can take property and casualty for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 19. Which concern is most associated with Brutus number 1? Option A. The national government would become too powerful. Option B. The executive would be too weak to enforce law. Option C. Congress would lack power to tax. Option D. The states would control foreign policy. The correct answer is option A. The national government would become too powerful. The essay warned that broad national powers, federal courts, and the necessary and proper clause could erode state authority. The controversy concerned both the effectiveness of government and the protection of liberty. The eventual addition of explicit rights reflected compromise between supporters and critics of the proposed framework. During review, connect the facts to the competing claims made during the ratification controversy and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 20. Which state constitution influenced the design of separated powers and an independent judiciary? Option A. Alien and Sedition Acts. Option B. Articles of Confederation. Option C. Constitution of Massachusetts. Option D. Mayflower Compact.
The correct answer is option A, procuring cause.
The 1780 framework reflected ideas associated with written constitutionalism, divided authority, and protected rights. Its ideas or institutional design contributed to later American arguments about limited government and representative authority. The influence is best understood by connecting the document's central purpose to a feature of the founding framework. During review, connect the facts to the influence of an earlier political document on American self-government and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 21. Which Supreme Court case is most closely associated with race-conscious admissions and equal protection? Option A. Regents of the University of California v. Bakke. Option B. Marbury v. Madison. Option C. Korematsu v. United States. Option D. Shaw v. Reno. The correct answer is option A. Regents of the University of California v. Bakke. The decision rejected rigid racial quotas while allowing limited consideration of race under defined conditions. The ruling became an important reference point for interpreting constitutional limits on government power or individual rights. Its significance lies in the legal rule and societal impact rather than merely the names of the parties. During review, connect the facts to the holding and constitutional significance of the judicial decision and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 22. A constitutional law review focuses on implied national powers and federal supremacy. Which Supreme Court decision best fits that topic? Option A. McCulloch v. Maryland. Option B. Plessy v. Ferguson. Option C. Baker v. Carr. Option D. Wisconsin v. Yoder.
The correct answer is option C, material fact.
The decision upheld a national bank and rejected a state tax that interfered with valid federal action. The ruling became an important reference point for interpreting constitutional limits on government power or individual rights. Its significance lies in the legal rule and societal impact rather than merely the names of the parties. During review, connect the facts to the holding and constitutional significance of the judicial decision and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 23. Which landmark federal law replaced national origin quotas with a different immigration preference system? Option A. Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. Option B. Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. Option C. Reconstruction Acts. Option D. Alien and Sedition Acts of 1798. The correct answer is option B. Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. The law reshaped the demographic sources of immigration to the United States. Its provisions changed the relationship between national authority and individuals, states, or economic institutions. The measure illustrates how national legislation can alter government power, civil rights, economic policy, or relations between citizens and public institutions. During review, connect the facts to the historical purpose and effect of the federal statute and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 24. Which landmark executive action used the veto to reject renewal of the Second Bank of the United States? Option A. Eisenhower's enforcement at Little Rock. Option B. Kennedy's federalization of the Alabama National Guard. Option C. Jackson's veto of the National Bank Recharter. Option D. Carter's pardon of Vietnam-era draft evaders. The correct answer is option C. Jackson's veto of the National Bank Recharter. The action demonstrated a broad political use of presidential veto power. It demonstrates how the executive can influence national policy through enforcement, diplomacy, military authority, clemency, or administrative direction. Presidential conduct can shape law and society while remaining subject to statutory, judicial, and constitutional limits. During review, connect the facts to the constitutional significance and social impact of the presidential action and compare it with other constitutional principles. Question 25. The national government negotiates a treaty with another country. Which civic concept or level of government is best illustrated? Option A. A federal government responsibility. Option B. County police power. Option C. State treaty power. Option D. Municipal home rule.
The correct answer is option B, lease.
Foreign relations are assigned to national institutions so the country speaks with one voice internationally. The activity connects citizens to public institutions or assigns a function to the level of government best positioned to perform it. Understanding both rights and responsibilities is essential to participation in a constitutional republic. During review, connect the facts to the relationship between citizen participation and the appropriate level of government and compare it with other constitutional principles.